On your mark, get set. What does it say? You. On your mark, get set. You. Nothing happens if you just procrastinate, if you don't get started. And what I have to say and commend all of you, and I say this with deepest sincerity, congratulations. You've shown up. This is the first step just by showing up. And I know someone sitting in this morning needed to show up. You needed that little boost. You needed that little kick. Now, that calendar of 3 months of things for you to contemplate, every 30 days you got to revisit that place that you personally empower yourself. You just have to. It's almost imperative to think that, how can I continue if I don't? Dante, how about to go ahead then and just put up the Foundations for Healthy Living. Just go to that one. That'll work. Listen to what it says here. If you don't know where you're going, you'll just end up someplace else. You know, you had some intentions, you got out, you start moving, you say, well, I'm going to do this and do that, and then all of a sudden you get confused and you don't know where you are. You just showed up. You just showed up. And that's what happens when we stay in the box. That's what happens when we start being apprehensive about change. That's what happens when we just stay with the establishment. Sometimes you got to go to the high diving board. How many of you are swimmers in there? Raise your hands honestly. How many swimmers do we have? Wait a minute now. How many people know how to swim in this room? Okay, I was getting a little nervous, man. You know, we live here in South Florida, you guys. I guess I love to swim. When the world closes in on me, I just jump in my pool, and I swim a mile in my pool just to let it all go. You know, because all those titles and all that, I hate when I'm standing there, people are reading all that stuff, you don't understand. It creates some stress sometimes. You know, I ain't going to stand here and lie to you. But the whole point is this. Do you remember? How many ever been to the high diving board at the swimming pool? How many? Okay, that's a good honest assessment. Do you remember the first time you went to the high diving board? Are you a swimmer? Are you a swimmer? You're not a swimmer, so you would know. You're a swimmer? You remember the first time?
I remember the first time getting in the pool.
Even getting in the pool. Think about that. Yeah. And what is your name there? Johanna. The first time, that was scary, wasn't it? It was very scary. But imagine that, just a step to get in the pool, let alone learn how to swim. And she's right. People have a fear of a lot of things. Speaking like this is one of the top. Swimming is another one. And I wasn't picking on anyone, but we just have this apprehension about us, this reluctant kind of, I don't know about me. I don't think I can. For me, I grew up swimming. I grew up in Tampa, Florida. I grew up an outdoor guy, running around barefooted, nappy head, just having a good time. Just, you know, got the water hose and got everything in the summers. You know, I wrote about it in my book, how it's so different as a kid now versus back then. When the summers came and school was out, it's not like kids are sitting around on the video, who can do this and kill somebody and go over there and do all that. You know, it's crazy. When the summers came for me when I was a kid, I was like the happiest guy on the planet. I went to summer camp. I went swimming. You know what I mean? I got on my bike every day. I climbed trees. I ate mangoes, and my neighbors got at me for taking the grapes and stuff. I mean, we did all kind of stuff living here in the South, where all these things grow and you can have fun. And I went swimming. I learned to swim. And I'm not going to lie to you, Joanna. I do remember the first time I went in the pool trying to learn how to swim. But then I got comfortable with doing my laps. And then I used to go and just jump off the shallow end and get in. And then one day I looked at the little board, and I went to the little board, and yeah, that's cool. You know how it is. You go to the pool every year, just that's great. And you go back. And then one day, and I wrote about it in Activated Stagnate. I've been swimming so much, I said, wow, man, I'm going to go to the high diving board. I want to see what that's like. And everybody would go. And you know, there's always a line at the ladder to get up the pool. So I walked up to the ladder. My time was coming. My time was coming. My time was coming. My time was coming. My time came. I had to go. But I was scared. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know. So I went all the way up the ladder. I got to the top, and imagine that's the high diving board. And I went, and oh no, I can't do it. I can't do it. And my brother was with me that day, and Gregory, get back up there, boy. You know you can do this. I'll never forget that. And I went up there, and I took a deep breath. And, and that first hit, man, that long drop, you know, that long drop. Oh, man, I was like, oh, boy, but hey, I'm still here. And then guess what? I learned how to go up and do now. I started doing swans. I started doing jackknives. But you know what I've never been able to do, and I'm just scared of it? I've never been able to do flips. I've never been able to, I always think people do that. It's amazing to me. They just take your body, especially the ones who barely splash, you know, the excellent ones. The whole point to the story is this, my friends. You need a high diving board experience in your life. You need a high diving board experience in your life. Something's stopping you. You may not even be a swimmer. I'm just using the analogy to reality. You may not even be a swimmer. But it could be the time for you to just go ahead and do that. Think about it. I'm going to give you a question to contemplate right now. What one thing you would do if you knew you couldn't fail? What one thing would you do if you just knew that you couldn't fail? I'm not going to fail at this. And I bet you have several. But that one thing, but guess what? You haven't done it yet. That's the problem. You just haven't gone to the high diving board. You just been contemplating. You just been procrastinating. You just been putting it off. And you know, honestly speaking, it's like you get to the old dock of the bay like this. You know how Otis Redding, you may not know what I said. Who know? I got to sit by somebody who might know Otis Redding. Anybody here know Otis Redding? No? Come on, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. You're about to make me real nervous. One of the greatest singers, he died many years ago, but, you know, he made this great song called Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, and I've always used it as a reference point about us in our lives. Sometimes we just get comfortable and chill pills and just sit at the dock of the bay like this, man. And we just stay there. We stay there to the point that we have so many things that would allow us to answer that question, so many things that allow us to go to that next level, and we don't. So today is your day. This is your time to take that 30-day challenge. I don't want to get away from what you're here for. There's something you want to do that you have never done before. And remember what Eckhart Tolle said, the universe needs you. They need you. You're the unrepeatable one, the unique one. We need you. Michael Jordan didn't even make the basketball team in his junior year in school. One of the greatest to ever touch a basketball didn't even make the team. His mama said, boy, you better get back out there. You better get back out there and do your thing. Now, some of you need to go do your thing.